The reason that there is such a void of male role models for young men is because we literally do not have adult males in our population anymore. What do I mean by that? There's no adult males. Like, there's grown men everywhere, but they're not actually physiologically adult human males. They're not. I'm going to teach you guys some fun shit. So in biology, there's this thing called neoteny. It's essentially an organism will retain juvenile traits as it ages if it doesn't get stressed out enough. Okay? If you live in an environment that's too easy, you don't actually develop adult characteristics. I noticed this when I was in high school. I grew up in a very affluent area. And when we went to our grad night, it was at Disneyland. And we went with a bunch of inner city schools. And everyone I was with realized that all of these kids looked like adults. They looked so much older than us. It's because they were in a more stressful environment, which caused their adrenal glands to upregulate, which caused higher testosterone levels, which made them literally adults. Made them adults in a way that we were still juvenile.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahusha, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayer from the GMS Orlando camp. And tonight, coming at you with a brief lesson through the Spirit, Lord, when this is edifying unto you elect. I caught a very interesting video earlier today, which Lord will now remember to put that clip in the beginning of this lesson. But nevertheless, I caught a very interesting video earlier today, which is going into neoteny, which to sum that up in so many words, is the study of how your environment affects your growth. All right, the more stressful situations you're put in, the more you're forced to mature and grow. It had me meditating on our baptism, the baptism that the Lord took us through as we entered into this truth of ours, the baptism of fire, and how it helped to facilitate mental and spiritual growth within us all. It was needful. That baptism of fire was needful for each and every one of us to grow spiritually, mentally, all right, emotionally. All right, that baptism of fire was needed and is still needed in order for us to continue to grow in this truth. All right, that's why the Lord takes us through trials, tribulations, obstacles on a day in and day out. All right, he's forcing us to grow. All right, the more stressful situations we're put in, the more we're learning to have faith. The more stressful situations we're put in, the more we're learning how to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And the more obstacles we face, the more we experience. All right, and the more we understand that the environment that the Lord has put us in is the best one possible to facilitate our mental and spiritual growth. All right, the Lord has put us in the best environment possible on this side of life and in this day and age. And although it's a stressful environment, the elect are going to reap the benefits of this baptism and of spiritual and mental maturity, while the rest of the world is stuck in an adolescent understanding of judgment, of prophecy, of the will of the Heavenly Father and of the Heavenly Father himself. The elect are going to reap the benefits of this baptism by fire. And that's why it's important to endure hardness as a good soldier. All right, continue to endure these temptations. Continue to endure these obstacles, because it's all working toward the good of the Lord's elect, like it says in Romans the 8th chapter. All right, this is all working toward our good, Lord willing, will the elect. It's hardening us. All right, it's forcing us to mature. Okay, it's forcing us to have more faith. It's forcing us to exercise wisdom and understanding. All right, it's forcing us to mature spiritually. So I want to grab this here in Sirach, or Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Right, when you come to serve the Lord, you have to prepare yourself to be tested. All right, because every son whom the Lord receives, he chastises. All right, he puts them through trials. All right, in order to prove them. All right, in order to harden them, in order to refine them. All right, and that's exactly what's happening right now in each and every one of our journeys. We're being refined. We're being proved. All right, through these temptations, through these trials, we're being proved. We're being refined. The dross is being taken out of our spirits. All right. It says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. All right. The heart, oftentimes when you read about the heart in the scriptures, it's talking about your mind. All right. Set thy mind aright and constantly endure. Get your mind right. Okay. And that's why the scriptures constantly harp, all right, on transforming your mind. Like it says in Romans, the 12th chapter. All right. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. All right. Because it starts in your mind. All right, wherever your mind is, your body will follow. And if your mind is right, if your mind is stayed on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai and these prophecies, your body is going to naturally follow. All right, your spirit is going to be forced to follow. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Constantly endure. All right, because this ain't no overnight thing that we in. You know, this is a day by day thing. All right, we catch hell on the daily. We go through new obstacles and new trials on the daily. All right. It's just a part of the job. It's just a part of what we signed up for. So we have to set our minds right, get your mind right, and constantly endure. All right. Constantly endure. Why? It says, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away. Why? That thou mayest be increased at thy last end. All right. If we do all these things, all right, if we set our minds right, constantly endure, cleave unto the Lord and depart not away, we're going to be increased at our last end. All right, and that increase is going to come by form of spiritual power, by mercy, by salvation, by the spiritual bodies that's going to be placed upon the elect, the new bodies that's going to be placed upon the elect. All right, in many other ways. But those mercies are reserved for those who endure these temptations, who see this through to the end, which, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. All right. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him. And it says, make not haste in the time of trouble. Right. When we're put in situations of uncertainty, you know, when we're put in situations of temptation, you know, it's important not to make haste, you know, not to seek the easy way out. All right. Wait for the Lord to offer up or to open up that door of escape. You know, wait for the Lord, all right, to make that way of escape. You know, if you get what I'm trying to say. The word is escaping me right now. Please excuse me, brother. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. All right, when it says take these things cheerfully, you know, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. It's not talking about catching hell and grinning ear to ear like a Cheshire cat. You know, it's talking about, you know, taking these temptations, you know, taking these, catching this hell, you know, with an understanding mindset, you know, understanding why you're going through these things, you know, understanding why the Lord has to take us through these things and the necessity of these temptations. All right. And understanding how these things are working toward your good. It says, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Why? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right. And right now we're being tried in the fire. All right. The Lord is putting us through this baptism of fire. All right. That's why the Lord took away your family when you first came into this truth. Or that's why the Lord took away a job opportunity, a money opportunity. Or the Lord stripped you of a woman. You know, he stripped you of a certain status in this world when you first came into this truth. Because that was needful for your growth. If you would have stayed with those things, if you would have stayed with that woman, or you stayed with that job, or got that job opportunity, it would have completely destroyed you. It wouldn't have allowed you to become the person you are today. It wouldn't have allowed you to grow through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Let me let this truck pass by. Decided to do circles in the parking lot all of a sudden. But it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right, and right now we're being put through the fire. All right, we're being put through the refining process. All right, but it's important to understand this. All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. They have no temptation taking you, but such is common to men. But the Heavenly Father is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. All right, there isn't any temptation the Lord is going to throw our way that we are not able to handle. All right, the reason why the tests are getting harder, the reason why your hell is getting, the fire is getting turned up on you, the reason why it seems like you can't catch a break, the reason why it seems like your life is getting harder, the obstacles are getting harder, is because the Lord believes in you. And he knows that you can overcome whatever he set in front of your face. Hey, the Lord is betting on the elect, just like he bet on Job. Just like he bet on Job. The Lord is betting on the elect that they ain't going to fold, man. That whatever's thrown in front of their face, they're going to give glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and overcome it. Straight like that. It says, they have no temptation taking you, such as common to man. But the Heavenly Father is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. But with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. All right, and that's why it says, make not haste in time of trouble, because the Lord is always going to offer up that way of escape. Always. Always. Always going to offer up that way of escape. Without a shadow of a doubt. He's done it for each and every one of our forefathers. And it's no different for us here in these latter days. The Lord willingly the elect. It's no different. The Lord is always going to offer up that way of escape. We just have to wait on it. All right? We just have to be patient. Like it said in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Patient and understand that there's no temptation that's going to befall us that the Lord didn't know we can overcome. The Lord ain't no bully. All right. He's not going to put you through something that he knows you can't deal with, that you can't overcome, that you're not strong enough to beat, you know. But I want to grab this here and then I'll close it out. 2 Timothy. Then I must depart. It's 2 Timothy chapter 2. In verse 3 it says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua HaMashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. All right, and right now is the time to endure hardness as a good soldier. As the hell continues, as the fire continues to be ramped up, all right, as the hells continue to increase, as the obstacles continue to get harder, all right, our job is to continue to endure hardness as good soldiers of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's our job, man. That's our duty. And the Lord called us for a reason. The Lord willingly, we're of that chosen. All right, but the Lord called us for a reason. And the Lord tailor-made our journeys for a reason. He tailor-made our journeys and he put us through certain hells and temptations for a reason, because he knows. He knows that through the Spirit we can overcome it, man. You know? But our stressful environment, the environment that the Lord has put us in, the body, you know, the ministry, you know, our daily woes, you know, going out in the highways and byways, doing these e-epistles, you know, dealing with the people of this world, dealing with our oppressor, you know, dealing with the day-to-day life, man, the 9 to 5, you know, whatever is going on in your daily life. All right, the Lord put us in this environment to facilitate our growth. Remember that. With that being said, shalom, stay up.